let's, do some practical examples of data mining, right? Let's use the same data set, but I want you to know that there's another very convenient function, which is called group by, right? Prior to this, we're like talking about you can use df.describe to look at the mean, the max, or the basic stats. But what if I want to look at the mean of group it by two columns, right? Not just the zip code, but something else, right? So this is where like you want to use this function called group by, right? So what if I said, right, group it by zip code? I mean, it's already in here, but let's just type it out, right? Zip code, right? So I want to group by this column called zip code, right? df, it's always this order. You have to remember this. So df.group by zip code dot estimated value. So this is the column that I want to take the aggregation of, right? So I can just say mean, right? This will tell me, okay, for every zip code, this zip code, I have the mean estimated value of this and this and this and this, right? So what if I want to, then you can guess like max. It's very easy, right? You can just change it like this, mean. Okay, so now let's say I want to group it by two columns, not just like zip code, but year built, right? Year built, you can actually do it this way, right? So you can see for every zip code, every year built, I have this mean estimated value. I can actually change this mean, right? So, or median, right? It's very convenient. You can actually group it. It's kind of like, that's a pivot table for you. This is great, right? So then we can have many columns, as many columns as we want. But this is actually, if you look at the type of this, right? Because when you print it out, you notice that the format is slightly different. So we can actually see, okay, it's actually Pandas series, which is a different structure, right, than Pandas data frame. So when you want to convert it to a Pandas data frame, typically you can just do reset index. This will pretty much do the work for you. So now if we look at the type of this, it is going to be a data frame, right? It looks like a data frame when you print it as well. So you can say, okay, so if I do this, I can, convert this into a data frame. So you can see zip code and then the estimated value, the median estimated value. So what if I want to then call this, say, df2, right? And then I want to merge this df2 with my original df, right? So merge means you are combining or joining these two tables or these two data frames, right? So I'm sure some of you will know SQL, but if you don't, then it's pretty much think of it as like joining the two tables or two data frames based on a common column. And then that way you can append more columns, you can get more columns or the superset of columns, right? So what if I want to append, right? So now with this one, so you can actually look at df2. So df2 has like zip code estimated value. What if I want to use zip code to append this estimated value into my original df? My original df, remember, looks like something like this, right? This is by house, but this is by zip code. But I can still merge it. I can still combine it or join it. So the syntax here, the function here is really just, it's called merge, right? pd.merge, pd is our pandas, right? And then you can say df2, right? That's this one. We'll just create it. And then on, right? This is the common field that you want to use to join the two, to merge the two, right? So zip code is a joint common column. So I'm going to say zip code, right? And then I can actually say how. How is like, I want to do left, right, or if I don't put anything, it's going to be inner. So some of you might know left join in SQL, but if you don't, just think of it as like you want to include everything from your left data frame or left table to be included in your results, right? So I can call this df3, right? So now I'll say df3.head, right? So now you can see one more columns, which is called estimated value y, right? It's called estimated value y just because df2 has the same column, right? The estimated value. And then we had the estimated value originally from our df. That's why it doesn't know what to assign to. So therefore, it's going to give you x and y like this, x and y. X means it's coming from the left data frame and y is coming from the right data frame. But don't worry too much about this. But what we can do here is we can actually do a quick trick and say dot columns, right? We can say, okay, I want to rename the column to like zip code, comma, median value, right? So now if you look at df, it's going to be, df2, it's going to be this median value, right? It's not going to be a estimated value, right? So now we can, if we do the join or the merge, right? df is the same, and then, right? Remember how to run it is shift return, or you can actually click in here. So now you can see df3 has median value, right? It doesn't have the weird x and y, and the estimated value is estimated value.